Marvel Rivals patch notes for, they're in backwards, I gotta remember. April 11th, 2025. Let's go. Balance post, season 2 begins. Vanguard, Captain America, love some cap buffs around here. Steve will undergo some adjustments to his survivability, leading to a slight decrease in his overall resilience. Wait, what? Wait, I thought Cap was getting buffed. Oh, because he's the team up anchor now? Oh, okay. I'll just keep it moving until we get there. Wait, should I start there then? No. We'll keep it moving until we get there. Reduce base health from 675 to 650, but it'll probably get changes. Reduce the shield value from Living Legend from 400 to 350. So that's the ult. Wait, no, that's the captain. That's the held shield. Wow, really? They're dropping the shield from 400 to 350? Interesting. Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, will see a reduction in his offensive capabilities, limiting his battlefield control. Decrease daggers of Denak damage per projectile from 18 to 16. Whoa. And reduce the Maelstrom of Madness conversion ratio of dark magic to damage from 1.3 to 1.2. So he's getting a nerf to his left click and his E. Yeah, I think that just kind of kills Strange. Like, he was already kind of on the fringe of like the best tanks. Like, you had like Mag, Groot, Thing, Strange. Strange was the worst of the 4, but he was still good. He's now an anchor. I'll get to it there, but like, at least as I'm reading it, it's like, uh-oh. Okay, let's just keep going. The Green Goliath will boast enhanced maneuverability and improved survivability upon entering combat. Increased base movement speed increased from 600 to 650. What? So he moves faster now? Reduce cooldown time from Indestructible Guard from 12 to 10 seconds, so that's the shield. And then decrease minimum charge time for Incredible Leap from 0.7 to 0.5. Wow, so 3 Hulk buffs? Wait, is he not the anchor anymore? Hang on. We'll see when we get there. But if he's not the anchor, if he is the anchor, those are huge buffs. I love those. Magneto, the master of magnetism, will experience a slight decrease in the frequency of his ultimate ability. Increase energy cost for Meteor M. That's a fine change. Peni Parker. Peni will receive enhancements to her primary attack efficiency and a boost to her survivability and combat capabilities. Cyberweb Cluster now has a chance to crit. Reduce movement speed penalty while firing Cyberweb Cluster from 40% to 20%, and increase base health from 650 to 750. Wait, this might be like a Penny meta. So now her left click can crit? Wait, what does chance to crit mean? So like headshots will crit, right? Or is it just every once in a while it'll crit? Because like that's RNG, that's weird. Headshot, okay, so it is headshot. So headshots now, 20%, so 40% movement speed to 20% is massive. And then 100 HP buff is kind of crazy. Oof. Could be translation error, you're right. The Thing, the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing, will see a slight reduction in his damage reduction effect. No! Decrease in battle leaps damage reduction effect for himself and teammates from 30 to 25. That's such a small nerf, but no! Thor. The mighty Thor will receive an increase in survivability, increase base health from 525 to 600, and increase base movement speeds from 600 to 650. So wait, Thor and Hulk will both move faster now. Interesting. I'm in. Duelist. Black Widow. Natasha is receiving optimizations to her shooting experience. Added a new effect where Black Widow can shoot or directly shoot after releasing the second kick of Edge Dancer and after using Electroplasma Explosion ultimate ability. So there was a small delay before? I didn't know that. Okay, small buff. Probably makes her feel better, if anything. Hawkeye, we're improving Clint's mobility while drawing his bow, enhancing his combat capabilities, and increasing the threat of his ultimate ability. Reduce the slowing effect while charging the bow from 30 to 20. Whoa, so that's a buff. Okay. Increase both instances of damage for Hypersonic Arrow from 50 to 55, and decrease energy cost for Hunter's Sight ultimate ability from 3,700 to 3,100, and improve the bow draw speed increase from, from 1.35x to 1.5x. Dude, that's gonna kill me. What the hell? 3 buffs for Hawkeye? Hawkeye was already kind of slept on this season, I feel like. Hawkeye's probably gonna be really good next season. Maybe back to permaban. That's my early guess. The Hela, the goddess of death, will see a reduction in mobility while slightly enhancing her offensive power. Increased cooldown time for Astral Flock from 12 to 15 seconds. Increased spell field damage of Piercing Knight from 30 to 35. Chat, which one's Piercing Knight? Is that the right click or is that the E? And then decrease cooldown timer for Soul Drainer from 12 to 10 seconds. So that's the E. Wow. 2 Hela buffs and a nerf? Arguably was the best DPS in the game, but hey, go crazy, I guess. Human Torch. Johnny's attack, feedback, and survivability are being improved to enhance his impact across various combat scenarios. Reduce attack interval for Fire Cluster from 0.6 seconds to 0.5 seconds, and the launch timing of the primary fire or primary attack projectile has been advanced. Don't know what that last part means, but it just means it'll shoot faster. Increase the cooldown for Flaming Meteor from 12 to 15 seconds, but add a new effect. After releasing Flaming Meteor, immediately gain 75 bonus health, which will start to fall off 3 seconds later at a rate of 30 per second. Okay, so if you do like the slam in, you get 75 bonus health. Hey, not bad. That's actually pretty good. Iron Man. I think Torch is pretty close to being good, but he's still like being held back by like 1 or 2 things. This could be enough. We'll see. Iron Man is seeing improvements to his mid-range combat effectiveness. Slightly reduce Iron Man's hitbox size. Whoa. And then new feature. Gain 100 bonus health activating Armor Overdrive or Gamma Overdrive that will start to fall off 5 seconds later at a new rate of 30 per second. Whoa. Smaller hitbox is already kind of scary. Getting an extra health when he presses his E for the overdrive is actually insane because you could play really aggressive with that. I see why they didn't nerf Hela now because they're buffing the flyers. Iron Fist. Lunlai will see an increase to his combat effectiveness against vanguards, a slight improvement to his mobility, and a slight reduction to his survivability when first entering the battlefield. Reduce the bonus max health gain from Harmony Recovery from 150 to 100. Again, wow. But the slow fall off rate of that health from 25 to 15 per. Okay. I feel like that's a bigger nerf than anything. Lower fixed damage of Yat J Chung Chen from 10 to 9, but increase the percentage damage of the max or the enemy's max health per strike from 1.7 to 2.1. I am too stupid to know what this means. I'm guessing this just means the normal left click. So they nerf the left click's normal damage from 10 to 9, but it will do... Oh, it's the right click? Okay, so it's the right click. It's like the fast punches. So it does more damage to tanks, or yeah, more damage to tanks, less damage again to squishies. Decrease the cooldown for Kunlun Kick from 12 to 10 seconds. That's the only meaningful buff in here to me. I feel like this guy is just very complicated for not much good reason. Regardless, I'll let some actual good Iron Fist player tell me if that's good or not. Holy shit. Mr. Fantastic gets his own essay. We're enhancing Reed's capabilities while making some balance adjustments to his ultimate energy charge rate, adding additional controllability and optimizing the release experience of his ultimate ability. Increase base health from 350 to 375, so normal Mr. Fantastic has 25 more health. Boost the damage of Stretch Punch from 60 to 65 and from 75 to 81 inflated state. Okay. So just straight up buffs to his left click, both in inflated and non-inflated. Flexible Elongaton, right? Isn't it Elongaton, chat? Totally. New effect. Enemies within range now suffer a 35% slow effect. Reduce flexible Elongaton. Cooldown from 10 to 8 seconds. Okay, so that's the E, right? Yeah, okay, so the E has a shorter cooldown. And also, enemies within range get a 35% slow. That's actually crazy. Reduce the elasticity gained from Elastic Strength passive ability from 30 to 20, while the elasticity provided by Stretch Punch is increased from 5 to 8. The passive you get every time you hit someone is from 30 to 20, but the amount of charge you get off of hitting single person with the left click goes from 5 to 8, so you'll build up your inflated state faster. After entering the inflated state, the bonus health provided to self has been reduced from 450 to 400. Okay. New feature, when Mr. Fantastic uses Brainiac Bounce, ultimate ability, immediately gain bonus health equal to that gained when entering inflated state. So can you go inflated state and then ult and then you get even more? Because that would be kind of crazy. We'll have to test that later. Remind me about this one. Interesting. This makes me think that it'll make him better. These seem like good changes, especially the slow is a big one. But we will see. We shall see. Moon Knight. Okay, Moon Knight needed big help. We're optimizing Mark's Moonblade projectile bounce feedback while improving maneuverability, ultimate ability, and survivability. Increase Crescent Dart projectile speed from 120 to 150. So this is just the left click, right? Or is it the right click? I don't know which one's Crescent Dart or Dart. Moonblade new effect. Gain 25 bonus health with each enemy hit up to a max of 100. 3 seconds after bonus health stops increasing, it will start to fall off at a rate of 20 per second. So Moonblade is the right click. Speed up Moonlight Hook. Pull startup time from 0.4 to 0.15 seconds. Okay, so the grapple will go up much faster. Extend the duration of the Hand of Khonshu ultimate ability from 3.5 to 4.5 seconds. And increase the number of talons generated during this period from 14 to 18. Additionally, the fall speed of the talons has been slightly enhanced. A new damage fall-off mechanic for the spell field has been added, beginning at 1.5 meters from the center and reaching a maximum reduction of 70% at 5 meters. So that was a lot. So it'll last longer. It'll have more talons that come down, but it's also spread out over 4.5 seconds, an extra second. The talons also will have, they will fall faster, but also have a fall off mechanic. So if you're closer to the center, you'll take more damage. If you're closer to the edge, you'll take less damage. So now it's the moon. True. Scarlet Witch. We're reducing Wanda's survivability, but increasing her threat level against strategists and duelists while optimizing her ultimate ability release experience. Remove chaos control percentage damage while increased fixed damage from 60 to 80%. Okay, so no longer is a percentage damage, but you just do straight up more damage with left click, period. Wow. 20 to 80, 60 to 80 with a 20 boost is crazy, especially considering that team up's coming in. Increased Contholian burst. Is that the right? That's the right click, right? Burst projectile damage from 35 to 40 and spell field damage from 35 to 40. Okay, cool. So it will do 10 extra damage, 35 for the, or sorry, 5 for the projectile damage and 5 from the spell field. Okay. Increase the cooldown of Mystic Projection from 8 to 10 seconds and reduce phase state time from 2 seconds to 1.5. So double nerf to the shift from 8 seconds to 10. And then also it'll last less time. Okay. Rework the slow effect of reality erasure to start at 1.5 seconds instead of starting immediately, with a linear increase to a 35% slow over 3.5 seconds. Chat, I need to read this one more time. Rework the slow effect of reality erasure at 1.5 seconds instead of starting immediately. Oh, so she'll move slower. So she moves slower currently in her ult, but now she'll move slower at 1.5 seconds in instead of right away. Over the 3.5 seconds, it'll increase from up to 35%. So it'll be at 0 till 1.5 seconds, and then at 1.5 seconds, it'll scale up to 35%, finishing at 35% when her ult goes off at 3.5 seconds. Got it. Star-Lord. We're reducing Peter's damage output and the efficiency of his ultimate ability charge rate. Reduce Blaster Barrage damage from 80 to 75. So that's the E, I believe. Introducing a new damage fall-off mechanic starting at 4 meters and maxing out at 80% damage reduction at 8 meters. Oh, so they're trying to nerf the bubble play where you run in on Star-Lord, hit E in front of their entire team and get 25% ult charge. Smart. You know, listen. Okay, I haven't given much like super in-depth thoughts on these patch notes because like I've really just treated Rivals as like I'm here for the ride. I don't care if it's balanced. I honestly don't give a at all. If something's broken, I'll just ban it, right? But if it's like, you know what I mean? and I just kind of like, I'm just here for the ride, but it's actually very impressive how they've targeted so far, like very specific instances that make certain things strong and nerf those interactions instead of nerfing the character all overall. And I think that probably helps a lot of the casual players feel like their character's not getting impacted very much because they're not constantly running in and bubble playing, you know? Winter Soldier. We are lowering Bucky's threat level against Vanguards and reducing the margin of error on his ultimate ability. Increase the cooldown time for Bionic Hook from 8 to 12 seconds. That's a good change. Bucky probably needed a hook nerf. Reduce base damage of Kraken Impact, the ultimate ability, from 100 to 80, but lower the culling threshold from 20% to a maximum health of 15%. Wait, what? From 800 to 80, but lower the culling threshold from 20% of maximum health to 15. Wait, so that's a double nerf, right? I mean, the way it was written made it sound like it was a compensation buff, but it's a double nerf, right? So he does less damage on the hit, and then where the little red bar appears, it's 20% of your health bar. Now it's 15, right? So it's a double nerf. Interesting. So 3 Bucky nerfs. Well done. Wolverine. We're tuning Logan's rage acquisition rate and slightly lowering his control intensity over enemies. Increase rage gained from Savage Claw hits from 7 to 10, while rage gained from Berserk Claw Strike has been decreased from 7 to 5. Chat, is Berserk Claw the state you get after a shift, or is that the right click? It's after shift. Cool. So Savage Claw is just your normal left click, like the... And the Savage Claw is after you leave, you go... You know? Okay. Reduce rage gain from Feral Leap from 20 to 10. So that's the shift. And the Vicious Rampage from 20 to 15. So which one Vicious Rampage? Is that right click? However, rage gained from taking damage has been reduced from 3 to 5. Or sorry, has been increased from 3 to 5. They're trying to make it look like it seems like he will just play around rage the entire time. So less about kidnapping, more about rage. But the leap still works the same. So I don't understand. They didn't actually change the kidnapping. Maybe it's right here. Reduce the time an enemy is knocked down after impact from last stand. Ultimate ability from 1 second to 0.75. Yeah, it's not gonna do shit. I thought they were gonna change his shift a little bit. I mean, the stun after the ult is like something, but like that won't really do much. Strategists. Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock, we're slightly reducing the frequency of Adam's abilities and adjusting the healing provided by his ultimate ability after reviving teammates. Increase the cooldown for Soul Bond from 30 to 40 seconds. That's a big nerf. And then Karmic Revival, ultimate ability, now restores 30% of a fallen ally's maximum health instead of a fixed 100. So this is really good for tanks when they're spawning because you just explode. The big nerf is right here. So like Soul Bond was like almost like a mini ultimate in a lot of ways. I mean, Adam will still be valuable for the Star-Lord team up, like the triple res comp. This makes res definitely better, but I don't know how much better it'll make. I think this is pretty heavy-handed to Adam, to say the least. Cloak and Dagger. After optimizing the logic of this dynamic duo's ultimate ability. Oh, sorry, we're optimizing it. After activating Eternal Bond ultimate ability, the duration of the first 3 healing zones will no longer be calculated separately. Instead, they will remain active until the duration of the final healing zone ends, at which point all will be removed together. This is a great change. I love that they did this. I thought it was a little stupid that they changed it to make it so that, like, you know, they tried to change it so that like you don't want to stack it on top of each other, but then it would fade faster. So if you like ulted into their team, if you were like playing where it first started, you just lost the ult way quicker than like people at the end. This just makes it make a lot more sense. This is a good change. Very good change. I like it a lot. Invisible Woman. We'll be fine-tuning Susan's protective capabilities to create a more strategic gameplay experience. Decrease the shield value of Guardian Shield from 300 to 250. So nerf to the shield. That's that affects like the 1v1s on the flank a lot. Very, very small nerf though. That's like a very, very small nerf. You know what I've noticed? They're very careful with nerfing supports in this game. Very, very, very careful. I don't think they want to overdo it at all. Even though a lot of people think supports is super, super strong, I think that for most players who play this game, support probably doesn't feel that insane. And like as a support player, you feel like you're not having a crazy amount of impact. You're never going to win. Like no, neither side is never going to be truly, truly happy. And so like for health of the game long term, like casual players being happy, this is probably the correct take. This is probably the correct route to BH. And also like they're not going in the damage direction. They're going the healing direction, which is like, I ain't gonna lie, I like that a lot. I think that like Overwatch went like very much like the damage direction for supports. And it just made the game like a DPS match, but like they're leaning much more into the healing side. So it's like everyone has a very defined role, even if it's very strong. Loki. To balance Loki's influence in matches, we're making a small adjustment to the frequency of one of his key abilities. Increase regeneration domain cooldown from 25 to 30. So that's his rune. His rune cooldown's going from 25 to 30. That's actually a big, big nerf. Rune is like a small ultimate as well, a lot like Adam's ult or Adam's Soulbond. But Loki also has the ability to copy the other support and just like get a second support ult. So like this is actually fine. I don't think this would kill Loki. I think Loki's still going to be very good. Mantis. To emphasize strategy over speed, we're modifying Mantis's health and buff mechanics. Reduce base health from 275 to 250, and effects of Healing Flower and Allied Inspiration can be stacked up to a maximum of 16 seconds. So you can just like throw all 4 of your damage boosts on one player and it will stack all the way up to 16 seconds. So like if you have a crazy Hela player on your team, you're like just throwing them all the damage boost and it's like you don't even gotta worry. Like 16 seconds is only 2 uses. Okay, but you know what I mean, right? Like that's good to know. It's 2 stacks is 16 seconds, so you don't have to do any more than 2. But like, you get what I'm saying? It's funny. I think it's actually pretty nice. 2 healing, 2 damage boost, 2 healing. Haha, so all 4. Rocket Raccoon. Rocket's healing abilities will see some adjustments to enhance his team's survivability while balancing his mobility. What? Decrease the healing area of repair mode spheres from 70 health to 50 health, but add a new effect of one-time healing of 55 to allies hit. Projectile speed reduction or reduction increase from 4.5 to 7? Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean wait, what? Wait, hang on, what? Wait, what? So now he has burst heals, and it's 100. Wait, whoa. So no more slows after bounce, or slows more after bounces. Wait, that's a double buff then. Like the slowing after bounce is good. Oh, wow. Oh, it goes faster after bounce than before. Oh, okay. So that is actually a nerf then, probably. That's insane though. Now that he has a burst. No, it's slower. Oh, so I got one guide? Okay, so it is slower. Projectile speed reduction increased. Okay, so it is slower. Okay. Extend cooldown for jetpack dash from 6 seconds to 10 seconds. Reduce dash distance from 10 meters to 8 meters. Okay, so big nerf to his mobility. And reduce Sia, ultimate ability, damage boost from 40 to 25. Whoa. But add a new effect. During the ability duration, linked allies will receive an additional 100 bonus health per second, capping at 150. After breaking the link, this bonus starts to fall off after 1 second at a rate of 75 per. Additionally, increase the energy cost from 3,700 to 4,000. Wow. Those are some big rocket changes. Now it's a support ult. It gives overhealth, which is like not healing, but it's similar. Burst healing. I think Rocket might be pretty damn good now. We'll see. I like it. They changed the way he worked in a lot of ways. Hey, I like that they're not afraid to try new directions. All right, here we go. New team ups. Arcane Order, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch. The mystical duo is set to enhance their powers. As the team up anchor, Doctor Strange gains a maximum health increase of 100. So Strange will have 700 HP now. So he took a hit to his damage, but he'll now have 700 health instead of 600 health, which he currently has. So he's tankier, but less damage. You know what? Strange might still be okay then. That actually might be okay. Scarlet Witch unlocks a new magical mystic burst ability through her team up with Doctor Strange, which, by the way, let me go back up here. Strange got some pretty big nerfs up here, but he currently has 600 health, so that would bring him to 700. I think that would make him fine, actually. I think he'll probably still be okay. Stars align, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Classic partnership, now with added strength. As the team up anchor, Captain America gains a maximum health increase of 100 and a 5% damage boost in damage output. Wait a minute, hang on. I realized like halfway through I was reading that. Base health from 675 to... Wait, so he's gonna have 750 health? Wait, Captain America is gonna have 750 health and do 5% more damage? Holy shit, we might actually get our Cap meta. Winter Soldier unlocks the devastating stellar impact ability through his team up with Captain America. You know, hot take, hey, listen, all right, I'm not trying to give a lot of feedback, like, you know, hey, I'm not here to like influence shit. I'm just here for the ride, right? But I'm gonna give you my opinion. All right, this is just my opinion. I think they shouldn't have removed the Thor Captain America team up. I thought it was a cool team up. If you wanted to remove Storm out of it because you think it's too much, fine. But I think Thor and Cap should have stayed. I thought it was cool to have the throwing electric shields. I would have loved to see a Cap Thor meta. Just saying. Just saying. Each character only has one team up. Storm had a team up with Human Torch and with Thor. So that's not true. You can have multiple. Winter Soldier unlocks the devastating stellar impact ability through his team up with Captain America. So he gets a new button. Mental projection, Emma Frost and Psylocke / Magneto. Powerful trio that connects minds and abilities. As the team up anchor, Emma Frost gains a maximum health of 100 health. I can't wait to play her later. Magneto receives the magnetic resonance ability through his team up with Emma Frost, and Psylocke receives the soul resurgence ability with her team up with Emma Frost. It basically, from what we saw, it makes a like little projection. So like you're shooting like two different, like you have a ghost that shoots with you, which is cool. So adjuster removed. Ammo overload for Rocket has been removed. For Winter Soldier has been removed. Chilling charisma, so the Luna Snow Namor team up is removed. I think that might kill Namor, because Namor without Luna was just awful. I don't know what the Gamma one's gonna look like. Actually, wait. They didn't put it in here. Maybe they will like further down. Magic Psylocke, honestly, I don't think that one was that big of a deal. It wasn't that impactful. Gamma Charge, let me see. Yeah, Namor now gains the Gamma Monstro ability through his team up with Hulk. So basically what made the Luna one so good was the fact that it would slow people. Like it was good against dive because it would slow things down. Not having that's gonna be strange. Maybe it'll do more damage or something. I don't know. We'll see. Dimensional Shortcut, Magic. Oh yeah, I read that one. Metallic Chaos, Magneto, Scarlet Witch. A disconnect and family synergy. The team up anchor enhancement for Scarlet Witch has been removed, along with the Metallic Chaos team up ability. Magneto loses his Metallic Fusion ability through his team up with Scarlet Witch. I liked the sword a lot. I really wish I got to use it more, but I get it. And Voltic Union, Thor, Captain Storm. A shift in electrical dynamics for this trio. The team up anchor effect for Thor has been removed, along with the Voltic Union team up ability. Captain America loses charged Aegis ability from his team up with Thor, and Storm loses the charged Gale ability gained from her team up with Thor. I really think that keeping the Captain America Thor one would have been really goddamn cool. I thought that was a fun one that didn't get used enough. And I also liked the sword from Mag, but you know, it is what it is. It does keep a lot of the game fresh. So overall, I'm surprised there's not more Hela nerfs. I'm surprised there wasn't more Star-Lord nerfs. However, though, I like this patch notes quite a bit. I think it's gonna change things up, and apparently they've already planned what they're gonna do for the second half of the season. Penny, I think low-key actually might be really good now. I can't wait to actually put Penny higher on a tier list for once, so I don't get screamed at by every TikToker on the planet telling me I'm wrong, even though they have been by far one of the worst performing takes in the longest entire game, and then I can finally like, see, now it's good, and then I can make, no, you can't say you like Penny now, no! It's like, okay, I know it's gonna be a great time when we get there, but regardless though, yeah, we're gonna get to play some Emma Frost in an hour, and there you go, there's your patch notes for April 11th, 2025.